All right, we're live. Totally impromptu. Thought I'd give this a go today. Playing around with the formats a little bit, seeing how if people join, if they don't, we'll keep this live stream for future viewing. I wanted to switch it up a little bit so that we do the unboxings probably on the live stream, raw unboxings on the live stream. And then what we tend to then do is bag and board and pull out in the main channel, in the main issue shows, go through the books, give you a sense of where they've landed, what I think they are grade-wise, and then which books I'm going to submit. I think that's probably a little bit better. Then you get to see, a little bit more impromptu, this whole unboxing piece, because I didn't feel it necessarily fitted in the main channel. It'd be good to get your input, see what you think, and whether or not it works in this new type of format. Or basically it's all still new, so I'm just be good to get any feedback from you, the viewer, because that's what's important. As I say, I unbox these pretty much all the time, so I thought it would make sense to do this at a weekend live stream. So I'll try and make this once a week. I think that the once a week is a good. So you're watching the first weekend watch list from Still Only 35 Cents, where we talk about all things comics. I give you a sense of some of the books that I've got this week. And hopefully what I'll get is some guests. So if you want to take part in the live stream today and you're catching this now, I can send you a link and feel free to join. I've done a couple of these with John and Richard so far. They invited me onto their members live stream last week, I think. Yeah, last week. So I'd like to see if I can get some of other YouTubers involved and bring them on. So it'll be like a discussion, and hopefully we can sort of have unboxings with other YouTubers as we go as well. So I think it'd be really good to do a real live show and tell rather than just a show and tell that's sort of pre-recorded. I wanted sort of just a little bit of a crazy sort of, opening boxes as they come in. I've held this now for over a week because I was thinking, what do I do? Do I open it now? Do I open it, and pre-record it? Got good feedback on the 2000 AD video that I just released. I'm not sure how this works, but do I put a link here or there or wherever? I don't know. I'm still trying to work all this YouTube stuff out, but I'm sure we'll get there. Let's just kick off and unbox this. I'm not sure if it's recording, so I'm trying my best. Let's see. This will be a fun exercise at the very least. So here we are. This is the latest one from the UK. Let's see what's inside. And then I've set up the other cam so we can actually go through the books as well. So hopefully this all works. Might lower the desk a little bit. Well, maybe not. Let's move this to one side, and then we can sort of just open it and take the books out as we go. And then you can see what you think. It's ruining my desk here, and it's focusing in on the cardboard, which is always good. So let's get this stuff out. The obligatory paper. Stop looking at the screen. Look at the camera, Dave. That's the way it works. Okay. So, hello. Right. So, first batch. Oh, two batches there. Is it the same thing? Oh, no. Good. First batch. Miracle Man. The issue 1 from this I took out and sent to CGC already. That's the UK price edition. So let's see what we've got. So Miracle Man, the Golden Age graphic novel. That looks in really nice condition. That's good to have that as I've got the original books, but this is good to sort of just go through and have a look, have a read. So that's one. Oh, that's really nice. Oh no, a couple of spine ticks, Silver Age. I think this is the last issue of Miracle Man from memory. Is it 24? Yep, 24. This is the last issue. You can see here, I don't know if you can zoom in on that. There's a few tiny, slight, yeah, a couple of color breaking ones. But all in all, not a bad looking book to have. So add that there. Issue 19. Again, not bad condition, but there is a few issues on the spine here. Not great condition either, this one, but still, again, I've got another copy of this. So 18, Neil Gaiman, when he kicked off. No, it doesn't have the 15, just so you know, but it does have 14, which is the last but one issue for Alan Moore. Last but, yeah, I think he switched over. It's either 15 or 16. I think it was 16. But yeah, that's another one to add. Again, I've got the full run of Miracle Man. Miracle Man. So these are sort of just secondary copies, reader copies potentially. There you go. Issue 12. Number 11. There you go. Number 10. Number 9. Birth of Miracle Man's baby. And finishing off this little collection for now, Miracle Man 7. So that's not too bad. Put this to one side for now. Okay, next up, Star Wars. These are early Star Wars. Again, I've submitted some of these to CGC already. Issue 1 in particular, which would go. So I think these are everything but issue 1. So let's see. I mean, I did get a condition report on these, and I was sort of told that they were really good. But again, I'm finding little tiny issues. Here, you can probably see the color breaking creases. This is issue 10. I wanted this because of Jax. Now, I know that George Lucas hated that character, but I have a sort of soft spot for that little fluffy rabbit in Star Wars. Hopefully, I would love to see it in live action, but we'll see. We'll see what happens. This one's not so bad. Issue 9. Again, I don't. There's the said rabbit on the cover. Nice. Issue 8. There he is again. Love this. And then I think issue 7 is the first appearance of. Oh, this one's actually really nice. Okay, is there some little bit of issues down here, little bit of issues up in this corner, but the spine looks really good. So, yeah, happy with that. Issue 6. This one's really nice. Little bit of foxing on the back. I don't know if you can catch that in the video. We'll see what you think. That's good. Issue 5, UK Pence edition. Again, you know my penchant for UK Pence editions. Really nice, this one. Ooh, this is really nice. Very, very good. I like this. The corners are really nice. There's very little going on along the spine. That's a potential gradable book. Again, pretty nice. Little crunch on this corner here, just here. You can see that in the light. There you go. See, it does. It's not color breaking actually, although there are some spine ticks on the edge here. So some foxing, but again, a decent looking copy despite those small issues. You know, some of those will come out in a press. I think it'd still grade in the 9s. Maybe a little bit of an issue here on the corner, but again, not color breaking. And that's the real trick, right? If it's got color breaking, that's where it can't be fixed, right? If it's a crease and there's no color break, oh, this one's really nice. So this is Star Wars issue 3. Does have some foxing. You can see that at the bottom, but that's, as you can see here, really nice looking copy. Yes, foxing on the back, but again, that one's another candidate. Oh, this one's got some real sunshade problems, but still, this is one of the better looking ones of this I've seen. Look at that. No, very little issues. Maybe one or two color breaking crease ticks on that, but still pretty clean looking copy. The thing that's problematic with this one, look at that for a sun. Look at that. So it does fill me with a bit of optimism on the Star Wars one. Like, we should get a 9 in the 9s for that. I haven't seen it, but the condition report was pretty good. So see how we go. Right, what else do we have? That's the Star Wars lot. And I just bid on another set, another auction last night, which was pretty aggressive in terms of bidding, which is a real change. Like, normally they don't go as aggressive as they did last night. So I think either that, some people have probably picked up on this whole UK auctions houses, right? Because there was a lot of competition last night, particularly from the US. So maybe some people are paying attention. So this is a StarLord run. Now, this was a sister magazine to 2000 AD. So they launched a second sci-fi related title after 2000 AD called StarLord, and it ran for a period of issues before it merged into 2000 AD. So this series features, it kicked off with Strontium Dog. So this is where Strontium Dog was introduced into 2000 AD. So the Strontium Dog, the series, started off in StarLord. So I'm after StarLord #1, which is the book that I submitted from this lot, but equally I'm looking for a high grade copy of that as well. But these are these are good. Look at this. Like, this is not a bad looking book at all. So it'll be good to go through these. There's some really nice. Love these UK magazines because, you know, you get to see. Look at that, Judge Dredd's ad in there for 2000 AD. They're actually talking about where it's going. So this is, I suspect, this issue, which I don't know what the number is. This is when they merged into, or when they joined 2000 AD. So the next issue would be, this is where they're going. So maybe we'll have a look at that in a little bit on the other camera. But I'll pop that down here for now, and then we can have a look. StarLord Summer Special. Yeah, that looks great. Again, not bad quality at all. There's a few spine ticks on that one. And there he is himself, Johnny Alpha, Strontium Dog series. This doesn't have issue numbers. So interesting. This, unlike the 2000 AD, doesn't have a prog number. So these have just got the dates on the cover. So you can see here, 1978, which is when they merged with 2000 AD. That's good. I mean, some of these are really like classic covers. Look at that. Beautiful. So nice to have these. Oh, I also think ABC Warriors started off in StarLord as well. So you'll see in a minute. Yep, there you go. That's ABC Warriors. Mick Quake. And then Hammerstein and Rojaws. I loved those two back in the day. They all look like they're intact. Yep. Another one. Another StarLord special shock issue. Don't know what's special about it. And what is... Yeah, look at this. Clone Wars. It's the planet Earth's... It's planet Earth's last day. For this is the day of the clone. The day of the Clone Wars. Interesting stuff. Very nice. So I'll have a read through these, but they're really good condition, like very nice condition. Really enjoying these. This is nice. Don't normally find books like this, kept in this as good a condition. So yeah, I'm happy to get these. This is really good. So I got this, I think, in the October auction from the auction house that I use. Some really nice bit of Dirty Harry action there. Not sure what the reference is there. Yeah, let's see what else we got. There's some more Strontium Dog, Johnny Alpha. That's good. Some really nice sort of back cover action there. Let's have a quick look again. I'm not sure where all this stuff. Yeah, as I say, I need to do a bit of reading. It's been a while. I don't recall collecting or reading StarLord when I was younger, so it'll be good to sort of go back and just see a lot of this stuff. That's a nice cover. I mean, if you look closely, this has got the characters that you see. Let's try and get this in the light a little bit. That's better. So you can see Strontium Dog and the ABC Warriors in there. Robustus, sorry. I've got the wrong thing. Well, maybe they were the ABC Warriors early and then they became Robustus. I have to go and reread these and sort of get up to speed. So that's Mind Wars. Again, let's just look at this. Look at that. Like, there is not one tick there. And the corners are reasonable, well, very sharp actually. So yeah, these could be candidates for grading. There you go. Another one. July 1978. With some story on the back cover. Oh, yes. Here we go. There he is. Rojaws. No, that's not Rojaws. Great. Look at that. He's got to kill Rojaws. Hammerstein on the attack. So, yeah. Great painted cover. What's this one? Bit of a Nazi 2478 AD. Nazi cover. Not sure what's going on there. Timequake. Battle of the Damned. Planet of the Damned, sorry. Yeah, another great looking book. Little bit of a spine roll, but we can get that fixed with a press. What's this one? There you go. Another one. Again, looks really good. Happy with that. There you go. Another classic, beautiful painted cover. Love the colours on these. I mean, most of these covers are sort of painted covers on this, with exception of things like this. Which again, what's in there? Insert Part 1 Sci-Fi Game, which is in the book Strontium Dog in Hell Planet. So there's a game and it's not been touched. So that's good. Get to keep that. Oh, and there's a free gift in this. Oh, awesome. All right. So this, I think, issue number 3. So they dropped the numbering from issue number 3. So this does include the free Star Blast battle log game. Not been played, not been touched. So again, very happy with that. That's good. Free gift in tow and very, very nice looking copy indeed. All right, what do we got? Oh, another insert. Oh, this is perfect. Issue 2. There we go. With the free gift. And it's all done and dusted. The beautiful space calculator, which you just, if I remember rightly, you move up and down depending on, you can use it to save your life. Not a bad looking copy at all with the free gift inside. As I say, free gift. It could save your life. Great. That's another one to add. Beautiful. Right, let's see what's left. 2 more, I think. Let me just check. 1, 2. Yeah, 2 more. 2 more. This is really good. All right, let's see how we go with these. All right, let's leave maybe. Okay, let's go. Should we go back in reverse order? Let's try this. All right. This, I'm not sure about this one. This is quite strange. I'm not sure if this is actually how it was intended to be. I think they were bigger than this, but I think there's another version of this. But this is a full color special edition of Spider-Man and Superman, which is I think the second issue they did of the 2 together with Doctor Doom and Parasite. I think this is a UK print of this, not unlike, but it's got it has a pound. So this is the UK printing of this. So I hadn't seen this before, so this is good to have. You can see in here, it's got the full Doctor Doom. Superman, Heroes of the Holocaust. What's funny about this, and I didn't realize this, Hulk seems to be in this issue as well. So again, I haven't read this. I need to go back and read this. So this will be good to do. Happy I haven't got this one. This is Batman versus the Hulk. So this I think is DC. So the way it worked is that either Marvel or DC would publish them. And this one was published by DC, whereas the Superman and Spider-Man, the first one was Marvel created or published, and then the second one was DC. So these two, the Superman and Spider-Man, and the Batman and Hulk were the DC published books. But I hadn't gone look at the back cover of this. So this is the traditional format, which I think there is another one of this that it matches that same size. But this is the UK printing of that book. This one is the US sense one. I'm not sure. I need to check my records on whether there is a UK price variant of this book. I know for a fact on the next book there is a UK price variant, but this one I think is only US. But yeah, look at that. It's beautiful. Great full, massive full color page spreads art. It's really good. I'm just checking who is the artist. Yo Luis Garcia Lopez. Yeah, there you go. Look at that. Nice. Very happy with that. And then last but not least, probably better than my, there's a bit of creasing on this cover here, but this is, I've probably got a better version. This is the UK price edition of Superman versus Spider-Man. Again, this is a sort of classic book. It's going up in price a lot. I've still got a copy of this, an undercopy of this for sale. This one might also become available. And I'll be running, and this is another thing about this show, right? I'll be using the Weekend Watchlist as I'll also be doing some claim sales too. So I'm going to start scheduling once a week, either a claim sale, a session like this, or both, basically. So you'll be able to claim some of these books. I just think I haven't given that a go. What I'm planning to do is have the racks at the back where there'll be, the different letters, and we'll just put the books up. You can just claim as you go. We'll see how those work out. But yeah, that's the plan. This is such a good book in that back cover. Again, I was hopeful when I saw this, the back cover, sorry, because it looked very clean. But then when you get to the front, you can probably see here on the Spider-Man, there's a crease on there. But still, decent presenting cover, a little bit of discoloration on the front. But yeah, I mean, with a clean, that'll probably come up quite nicely. It'll still keep some of this foxing here, but for a book of this age, and to be able to have this and read through it, you know, it's such a good book. Oh, better not do that. But yeah, it's just so good to see. Here we go. Now that's the spread you want. Look at that. Classic. And this one was Ross Andrew, but for some reason I think that there was another artist involved who did a sort of shadow role, which uncredited. So I'll come back to that when maybe we do a bit of detail, and maybe we'll get crack the other camera out so you can see a few of the books. Let's get rid of this box now. So we're on the last one. We're on the last one, which these are, just as a bit of context, these are books that I used to have. Again, I was very fortunate. My dad was a news agent, and so all of these would come in, and I, you know, he'd get these, and I'd get first picks. And it was always a tussle between me and my brother. We both loved comics. But this is the one that I opted for. I think he was more into superheroes. I was much more into Star Wars at the time. But I did get a few key books. So it's sort of my love continued for, you know, this is the stuff that I remember having these issues. These were just beautiful books, and actually were introductions to other stories such as Micronauts, such as Warlock. This is my first introduction to Warlock, and why that character is so important to me. Like Warlock is, you know, I think he's done dirty in the MCU. Well, let's see if they actually turn that character around, because, you know, it's such a powerful character. But let's see what we've got here. This is my introduction to comics per se. So Star Wars Weekly, which came out in the UK, reprints, but just they would have beautiful covers, very sci-fi related magazine, and as I say, you'd have different stories like Micronauts, Warlock, and then the main reprint strip. But yeah, coming out weekly, you'd get sort of, you know, 4 or 5 pages of Star Wars, then you'd get another Micronauts story, and over the month that the issues were coming out, over that month, that 4 issues, you'd get, you know, essentially a full version. So let's just see how many. So you can see, get much of the trade dress piece from the internal front page, pretty much the same, but it's all black and white. And you get, you know, you get up to that half the issue, quarter of the issue, and then it would finish, and then you're straight on to the Micronauts. So I think that's still very early in the Micronauts run in that issue. So you basically, I think it's still issue 1 actually that they're reprinting here. This is probably the second part of it. Yeah, I remember this book vividly, having this book. And then obviously you get the Power of Warlock, which reprints the classic Starlin run from End of Strange Tales into the Warlock issue. Bit of the Soul Gem there. Very early. So yeah, that's number 53. I was well into that book at the time. It's another nice one to have. Star Wars Weekly. This is the other thing I really liked about these guys, is that you'd have photo covers like this. This is issue 52. So yeah. And again, the other thing, I used to get introductions to some of the early 1960s, you know, Silver Age, Tales to Astonish, Tales of Suspense, Strange Tales issues that were reprinted, like this classic Ditko one. I used to love. And so you get these in this book as well. There you go, the Micronauts. Yeah, Micronauts. I think that's issue 1. Yep, I think that's issue 1. And then you got the Time Traveler poster. What else is in here? More Warlock. Yeah. And you get pinups like this that would just sit, you just on the front page, inside front page. Look at that. Beautiful. Nice photo cover. That's 52. 36 with Empire Strikes. Nice house ad on the back from Marvel Comic Books. Super Spider-Man, Mighty World of Marvel. Oh, something in here. Might be a free gift. Issue 35. Let's just open that up. Oh, it's a ad for 24 Safari cards free. So that's in there. That's nice. Bit of a backup strip with StarLord and a pinup from the early issue, reprinted of the cover, I think number 5. Yeah, I think number 5 of Star Wars. Yeah, and again, that's my understanding is that's so that's a good one. Let's just see if there's any comments. Hello, everyone who's there and just joined. It's good to have you. Issue 34. As I say, I'll crack the camera out in a minute and we'll switch and just go through some of these. Just I didn't submit any of these to CGC this batch, this one in particular. I just wanted to have these back in the collection. And again, they're not bad condition at all, right? Like very sharp corners. And this is how I've read comic books as a kid. So issue 25. Then we've got issue 23. Again, you can see these new covers or artwork that were done specifically for the UK books, Marvel UK books. So that's another reason why I wanted these, because they're just alternative art that you wouldn't normally see. So you can see that on the issue 25 I just showed you. Similarly, there's another one on that issue 34. Again, I've never seen that outside of these Star Wars Weekly books, so it's good to have them. Whether they were other alternative covers that were drawn but then never used, or whether or not they, yeah, you go, here's another one, issue 22. So I mean, you think about those early Star Wars runs, and you know what you know, the covers that you used to have, just great. I'm going to try and do a little bit of digging to find out what was going on with these covers and who did them. Another insert in there, 24 sports cards. Again, you can sort of tell the quality of these, right? Because they're very, like, they've held their own. These are really good. This one, I think, was a cover on the Star Wars US copies. It looks familiar to me, or maybe I'm just remembering this one. But yeah, another issue 22. We'll go through in a minute with the other camera, see what you think. This one I've never seen before, and it's a really strange one as well. So Han Solo did wield a lightsaber, apparently, according to canon. Well, if this is not canon anymore, because you know, Disney decided in their infinite wisdom that anything that they didn't create wasn't canon, apart from the original trilogy, unfortunately. So yeah, really good. Oh, someone will love this. So this is another one of those covers that you sort of look at and you go, I've never seen it on a US copy. Must have been created specifically for the UK, Marvel UK books. What it does have on the back, which I saw someone else with this recently, and I've been looking for this, is the Marvel Superheroes Top Trumps card game, which was a UK card game where you had stats on the card and you could play, you know, those Marvel superheroes and villains against each other. So I'm still on the lookout for one of those. Maybe that will be a good one for a future video. But yeah, this is issue 17. This is just like going back to much. Oh, now I do remember this house ad, well, not a house ad, but ad on the back. Yet another piece of art that's not been, I didn't think was ever used on the US copies. So where this came from, I don't know. It says there's a, So it has the poster intact. There's a free color poster inside. And again, this is the other thing that I loved about being a UK comic reader, is that we used to get all these cool, absolutely brilliant sort of free, like that. I seem to recall having something like that on my wall, but that's stunning. Like, and the fact that it's still in the copy of the book, it's brilliant. What I do remember most vividly, though, is we had these knockoff Star Wars lightsabers over the Christmas period called Force Beams. And here's the ad for them on the Star Wars mag. So non-licensed product. And because there was no lightsabers, they'd basically create their own art. And this is fantastic little ad for these Force Beams. They were essentially sort of just plastic tubes with a torch at the bottom. And you'd have different colors. So they weren't great, but it was all we had at the time. And I think, the vast majority of these have got those Force Beam ads on them. So this is another one, issue 12. I think this is the last. Yeah, so I definitely had this book. This is the final issue of the first so this is essentially issue 6. So where issue 6 issue finalized in the US, this is where ours finished. So this is issue 12. So it gives you a sense. I think basically the way they did it was they printed half the issue each week. So Star Wars issue 12, this is the end of the New Hope story. Again, brand new cover. And I think that was mostly driven by the fact that obviously there was only 6 covers for them to be able to use. So they had to create their own artwork for this extra weekly. So again, great to have this, because this isn't not many US collectors have seen these. And it's great to have alternative art. There's one in here, I think, that's coming that I absolutely adore in terms of the image and the cover of it. And it's unique artwork that was created for Marvel UK. So again, you've got the beautiful sort of Force Beam advertisement on the back for your little plastic torch with your tube. And I just remember getting that for Christmas one year. I was just blown away and super happy with it, even though it was the most crappy toy you could ever hope to have. And this is the one I was talking about. So this, it's a shame it's got a little bit of ding on the corner here. This is the cover I was talking about. This is issue 11. Now, this is definitely created specifically for this issue. And I just love that Darth Vader in the control room with the screen of Luke Skywalker and R2-D2, and for some reason them shooting through that screen. It just is such a striking image. At least they got the color of the lightsaber correct. But yeah, this brings back memories. But yeah, full reprint of like issue 6. Yeah, that's got a massive ding on that corner. Look at that. Oh dear. I'm going to get a high grade copy of this because I really love this book. This one sort of brings back memories. There's the last 2 in particular. Then you've got issue 10. And again, this is another piece of artwork that was created specifically for Marvel UK for this run. So number 10. This is when they arrive at Yavin. But again, it's like, look at that. It's just specifically created for the UK. Artwork I've never seen in any of the US books. So great to have. And then another one, number 9. So this is when they escape from the Death Star and they have the battle with the TIE fighters. Again, brand new artwork created specifically for this. I don't think you probably haven't seen this before. I've never seen it in the US copy. Another one, again. So where this original art sits, who owns it, where it was. Again, number 7. This is in the Death Star when they're in the trash compactor. So I'm missing issue 8 from that so far. Oh, there's another interesting one. So again, more unique artwork from Star Wars, specifically created for the Marvel UK book. And then on the back, a collector's pinup of what is potentially Chewbacca. Again, this is all very super early at the day. So that, where maybe this was before the whole before they'd seen the movie, so they're only going off sort of reference images. But this is hilarious that Chewbacca looks like God knows. I'm trying to think something off Farscape rather than actually. And Han Solo's blaster's a little bit interesting. So they weren't sticking to reference; they were just drawing what they liked. And then we've got issue 3, which is interesting. It's the worst looking cover of all of them, right? And it uses the original art from I think, issue 2 of Star Wars. Yeah, issue 2 of Star Wars. Recolored in a very interesting manner. Yeah, super early on. And then it's got this great pin-up at the back, which is very accurate in terms of the stuff that it's got on there. So they'd obviously seen the movie. But yeah, that's a great one to have. Let's just have a quick look inside. Yeah, so it's an advert for 16mm Super 8, Super 8 Star Wars film. So great. So that's that one. As I say, it's just great to collect these old books. Maybe I'll switch to the other camera so we can sort of see them a little bit clearer. And give you a bit of a run through. Is there anything you'd want to see? Anything specifically? Maybe we'll the US books you would have seen. So maybe we'll just have a little look at some of this. Maybe issue 2 of StarLord would be a good one to start with. And then we can sort of move to those Star Wars books perhaps. If you're live and watching, feel free to put anything in the comments and let me know what you think. Let me know what you want to see out of those books, if there's anything else as well. I've got a few other things that have come in this week, which I could potentially share. But so feel free. Let's just switch. Just going to line that up. Let's just switch out to the other camera. See what you think. Oh, maybe we switch. Stage. There you go. You can see both me and you can see our beautiful StarLord magazine. Let's just get dirty here. Let's get that in. All right, so StarLord issue 2. So a little bit of intro on this one. I bought this lot. Issue number 1, I submitted to CGC directly from the auction house, so that's with them at the moment. The issue with the issue 1, my understanding is that there's a sticker that comes free with it, and what they did was the person that owned it beforehand, instead of like keeping it in the issue and because it was taped on, they've removed the sticker and then attached the sticker by sticking it to the cover. So we'll see. It'll be interesting to see what that comes back like from CGC. But this one's in good condition, as you can see. Look at that. Like it just needs a little bit of press. There's a little tiny ding here, a little bit of rub here. But other than that, it's in good nick. So let's have a look. So we've got Mind Wars. Yeah, that's good. StarLord blueprinters. I love you can see that this where they have their original. You can see that this was like the same creators and publishers as 2000 AD, because this is very similar in terms of the style that 2000 AD did. So you can see here they have this little box for each of the stories where they talk through who did the script, who did the art, and the lettering. Very similar to what you'd see in 2000 AD. And I might bring an issue out to show you in a second just what that looks like as a comparison. But again, you can see these stories were pretty great in terms of just the artwork was stunning, and they were really sort of creating their own UK style. This is very reminiscent of all the sort of books that I used to see in the UK. So there was this like burgeoning industry of like comic book stories that came out of the UK that just loved it. And here's that beautiful space calculator that I showed you just a minute ago. And the next story, painted cover. So this is Timequake. Again, I'm going to go back and read these because I wasn't a StarLord reader when it first came out. I was more a 2000 AD reader, and at this point, I was reading the Star Wars magazine, not necessarily StarLord. But yeah, these are just, look at this, like the beautiful painted stories. And who's the artist on this? Let's go back and check. So on this one, there is no credits that I can see. So I might have to just go back and check that one through, see who would have been credited. Oh no, here we go. So John Cooper was responsible for the art, script by Jack Adrian, lettering by Peter Knight. So you would always find these at some point in the story. And this is one of those stickers that were featured in the front of the StarLord issue 1. They were sort of very nice holographic type stickers. This is one of them. I think there were 6 in total. So yeah, this is good to, shows you how to use your space calculator. Talks about that. Second appearance of Johnny Alpha, Strontium Dog story. This is good. I can't see the credits. Carlos Ezquerra. You get a nice color spread here for the first part of the story, and then it switches to black and white. But great to have early Strontium Dog in there. Planet of the Damned. Again, you can see the credit here. What else do we have? Yeah. That's a nice image. Johnny Alpha there. And then Robusters. Again, Pat Mills script. Pinot art. Peter Knight. Rojaws and Hammerstein. Again, these were reintroduced into 2000 AD later when they merged the 2 books. I'm not sure what this one is. Oh, so this is still Robusters. Yeah. What do you think? It's pretty cool. One more of these, I think. Let's just go through one more of these. Have a look. I'll pop this back in here. Don't want to lose the space calculator because, as it says, I could use it and it could save my life. Okay, what have we got in here? Star Blast game. As I say, we showed that earlier in the stream. Planet of the Damned. I don't recall them having any. Here we go, more Robusters. Early Robusters. That's good. Howard Quartz Robusters boss. There you go. And again, the artwork on this is good. Dave Gibbons art, actually. This is great. Very early Dave Gibbons. Pre-Watchmen days. And there's the Star Blast game. Great. Not sure how you'd use that. But it looks like it's wipe away as well, but never been touched. Look at that. Beautiful. With the instructions on the back and how to use it. Hasn't been folded or cut, thankfully. So it's the full Star Blast game. Another Strontium Dog full color spread, which is good. And that amazing German accent that Wolf has. Listen, Wurm, where Johnny go, I go. A lot of money you have paid for these seats. So, yes. Good to see. And there's Gronk. Another character within the Strong Dog mythos. There you go. I wonder if this is if Gronk's first issue. I'll double check that. But yeah, we'll probably do another video where we'll get to sort of go through these books in better detail, and I'll have a bit more information in terms of what was going on, where the first appearances were, what's going to be submitted to CGC. It'd be good to see these two in particular. I'm super happy with, because they've got the free gifts in, and then that doesn't get the green label if they're missing. And I like keeping them. I'll scan them in before I send them to CGC, so then I've got a memory of these before they go in. But it's great to have the free gifts, and especially in condition like that, it's really nice. Mind Wars, bit of Wonder Woman and Superman action on the bottom here. Time Quake, again, painted art. Look at that, just beautiful painted art. I shall have to look up Ian Kennedy, because this is really good art. Beautifully painted. And you can see, look at this, like that's this is the level of art that we used to have in Marvel UK books, particularly not Marvel UK. What am I talking about? Just in the sort of 2000 AD StarLord books. I think it was IPC that published these. It's just the talent that we had available to us, and I think that was part of what the Marvel UK's editor back in the late 70s, early 80s, Des Skin was trying to do. He was trying to recreate a lot of this, take the art and the stories and the talent that was in something like 2000 AD and recreate it within a Marvel framework with the books like Daredevils. And I think when he moved and did Warrior, it's like trying to create these amazing anthology books. Again, I think that deserves I'm going to do a video on this at some point and sort of talk about Marvel UK books, because it's really it's such a treasure trove. And it's no wonder that a lot of these, talents moved over to the US and have become these sort of industry legends, in terms of the creation of stuff. Dave Gibbons doing early art on Robusters. Let's just have a look at that again. You can already see his characteristic style coming through. Like, it's still quite raw compared to what it ended up looking like, but you can definitely tell. And the fact that it's all beautifully painted and colored and inked, like multiple layers. It's not just inked. It's it's proper shading. Just absolutely stunning. And so this is what we grew up with. These amazing talents doing this amazing work, and we had no idea. The talent pool in the UK doing all these books, just amazing. Who did this one? So let's have a look at this art again. Look at this art. It's just amazing. That's pity. So I'm assuming that we also sort of dipped in, not just in the UK, but dipped in across Europe to get some of these. But yeah, I'm just blown away by, and just the memories come flooding back in terms of these books. So that's a couple of the StarLords. Maybe I'll just, to close out, we're almost coming on the hour. We'll close out. Maybe I'll show you a couple of these Star Wars, give you a sense of this, what we sort of tend to get in these books. So you can see here, you get a who's who in Star Wars. So you get a bit of a run through of the characters, bit of a nice bit of art there. And then we got the reprint of, I think, Star Wars issue 1. Or is it Star Wars issue 2? Oh, no, I think it's Star Wars issue 2. Let me just check that. I've got issue 2 obviously here to compare the two. Yeah. So fascinatingly, you get a little synopsis on the front. You get who's who in Star Wars. You get your little synopsis, and then we're straight into. And this is issue 3. So as I mentioned, you get half the story each issue. and then you're straight into issue 2 of the US copy. Now, straight away, you probably notice a difference here. So 6 Against the Galaxy, in here, it's onto Alderaan. So they obviously had to create specific titles and changes to the book to be able to have the continuity. And so they'd overlay this. And what's interesting, last night, I got one, as I say, another auction last night where I was bidding. And there was a whole bunch of stuff from the Marvel UK creative director at the time. I ended up buying a few pieces of cover proofs, that they did for some of the books. I don't think I did any Star Wars within there, and then a few pieces of interior art where they did changes like this. So I'm looking forward to getting those back, and I'll do a video on those because I think that's going to be fascinating to look at, how they created some of this stuff in Marvel UK. I'm not sure if I get the original artwork because it looked like there was original artwork in there. But again, when I get that, I'll sort of do a bit of a video in terms of how the process worked. But yeah, I'm going to keep an eye out for some of this stuff. If there's any more of these sort of UK, how they did changes to these UK issues. But you can see here, you get it's all black and white art instead of, you don't have the color art that you'd see in the US book. But it's a bit, yeah. So there you go. Let's have a look at that side by side. So just pure black and white art, non-colored. Some of these you tend to find the kids would color in the characters. But it's interesting to sort of just compare the two and see this black and white art. Howard Shaking classic art. And then we've got this one here. So you can see side by side. Let's just move this across. There you go. Look at that. So there's a bit of half tone added to Luke there. Not sure that necessarily needed, but clearly, and the same on Obi-Wan's piece there. So they've tried to do some shading using halftone. So again, checking out this artwork, it'd be fascinating to see how they've, what was their process. So I'll keep you updated in terms of what that looks like. But this is great to be able to compare with the US copies, especially when you've got them in hand. Again, look at that. So you can see there's a bit more of that. So you can see the difference, the coloring here in terms of then how they've applied the shading here. And then on this one, you've got the coloring, but then there's no shading applied on that. So fascinating to see how they decide, the decisions that they made. Let's just quickly look at, let's have a look at this. This is another one to get a sense of. At least they haven't coloured in Leia's face with a halftone there, so they obviously wanted the stark look of fear. Really good to see. Let's just go through the rest of this, and then maybe we'll close the stream for today and do a bit of bag and board, and then maybe do a bit of in the next video, I'll do a little bit of a walk through and get a bit more information on some of these books. See which ones I'm submitting for CGC, the rest of the story. And what's this? Now turn over to the next page for your free pull-out Death Star Battleground. Swoop down on the tunnel to attack. So this, I'll give you a bit of background on this. I know what this is for now. So the first 2 issues of Star Wars Weekly, they featured free gifts. They featured a free gift for a TIE Fighter and an X-Wing, which did look nothing like either of them, but with just cardboard cutouts. Fantastic. I don't know if I've got one here. I could pull one out to sort of show you. But what they did was included this amazing sort of schematic that you could essentially play over the top. There's your little thermal exhaust port here where, Luke is trying to sort of blow up. You've got your TIE Fighter launch bay. Not entirely sure, when you consider the size of these toys that they gave, not much of a play area for you to sort of work with here, but a fascinating piece of, let's try and make something interesting when we don't actually have the rights, or we don't have the, So use your imagination, kids. Use your imagination. Just lie it over the top of this book and fly it over. That's how you work it. Another one for the Super 8 film of Star Wars. Again, I was looking for one of those a few months back. I haven't got one. I know that Neville from Grail Hunters Australia he's got a projector, same as me, but he's also got the Star Wars movie, I think. He plays that every now and again in the backyard, I think. But yeah, I'd love to get a copy of that, because it's just it's silent film, but you just classic clips from the movie, and it was the only way we could see it at the time. There was no VHS, and Betamax was still very early days. Not many people had a video recorder or a video player, so Super 8 was the way you'd watch this stuff. House ad for Han Solo there, and then more Marvel weeklies. So you can see here the number of Marvel weeklies that were running at the time. So you had Rampage, which later turned into a magazine, proper magazine format. Fantastic Four, which I think was rather short-lived, and then Super Spider-Man, which was basically mostly always running when I was a kid. Interesting. What's the story here? So Tales of the Galaxy. I'm not sure where these came from. What reprints they are. I mean, they're reprints of Marvel UK, or not Marvel UK, again, reprints of Marvel US, either magazines or books, but yeah, covered in here. And then, what have we last got? Let's have a quick look. Again, there's a little bit of, you can see the foxing here. It's not great. I did have this, the old Star Wars soundtrack LP. I think that's the soundtrack. The correct answer will receive a Darth Vader helmet. Now, whether or not that's a real Darth Vader helmet, it says authentic. That's sold in the US for $50. And then 20 soundtrack LPs, which I did have. Played that to death. Didn't win it, but I did actually do it. And then a couple of behind the scenes things. So they used to have a behind the scenes sections in each of these as well, with some sort of photos that they'd added. Star Wars fan club ad. That's a good one. I never joined, I don't think. But yeah, that's, again, a great one to look at. And then, this is interesting, Star Wars glossary. So you get to see, taken from the official Star Wars Collector's Edition on sale now, priced 95p. The Star Wars is... So, again, I can't remember that book. I probably have to do a bit of digging. But next issue would have a part 2. But yeah, just great to sort of go through this, give you a sense of what we were looking at when we were in Marvel, in UK. So we didn't just have to we didn't just have one story like in the US editions. We had like a whole plethora of different stories, different content, mostly Star Wars related, and very little sort of, like you had in Marvel books, all these sort of ads. It was very rare that you had many ads. I mean, I love these ads in the Marvel books, but yeah, I mean, look at that. I remember that free 1 million cash ad quite a lot when I was growing up. But yeah, the Star Wars books are very different to what you would see in your US, in your standard US copies. And then to finish off, look at that beautiful cover. Pin-up. Again, I'm not sure where that originally appeared or whether that's created specifically for the Star Wars Weekly, but again, this is the stuff that we used to get, and it's just great to have these images in play. And this is part of the reason why I'm collecting more and more of these Marvel UK books again. And at some point, I'll take you through some of the Marvel US reprint issues that we used to do over here, because it's all this extra stuff that was really cool. And as I mentioned, I was at an auction this weekend and purchased a bit of painted artwork of the Incredible Hulk that was featured on one issue. So that'll be an interesting video in a couple of weeks when that finally arrives. So, yeah. Anyway, that's probably it for today. Please join me next week Be good to see. And again, if you've got any comments, I'd love to hear if what you think of the content. If there's anything else you'd want to see. Hopefully the setup works. I think this overhead camera and just showcasing the books in detail is pretty good. So I'll be doing a bit more of this. I'll be using this this end of week session to sort of do a roundup of the sort of books that have come in. But yeah, love to hear what you think. And as I say, join me next week if you can. And then maybe we'll start doing live sales as well as just going through the books. But yeah, thanks for joining. Please leave a thumbs up, like, subscribe if you can, if you haven't already. But I'll hopefully see you next week. All right. Take care, everyone. Stay safe.